have a random box, and the text in this is actually mirrored. I don't know what to make of this. Honestly, like, I don't know how fun or annoying reading this book will be. I don't know. Personally, I really enjoyed this format. I've read, what was the Y sci-fi Illuminae by two authors. One of them was Amy Kaufman, and the other one I can't remember. The series is called Illuminae Files, and it's written in such a interesting, unconventional way. It's basically like piles of evidence. I'm not sure if this is something similar or what is going on here, but it seems interesting. So I know nothing about the story, but I'll read the synopsis to you right now. Years ago, when House of Leaves was first being passed around, it was nothing more than a badly bundled heap of paper, parts of which would occasionally surface on the internet. No one could have anticipated the small but devoted following this terrifying story would soon command, starting with an odd assortment of marginalized youth, musicians, tattoo artists, programmers, strippers, environmentalists, and adrenaline junkies. The book eventually made its way into the hands of older generations, who not only found themselves in those strangely arranged pages, but also discovered a way back into the lives of their estranged children. Now, for the first time, this astonishing novel is made available in book form, complete with the original colored words, vertical footnotes, and newly added second and third appendices. The story remains unchanged, focusing on a young family that moves into a small home on Ash Tree Lane, where they discover something terribly wrong. Their house, and it's written in blue, their house is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Of course, neither Pulitzer Prize-winning photojournalist Will Davidson nor his companion Karen Green was prepared to face the consequences of that impossibility until the day their two little children wandered off and their voices eerily began to return another story of creature darkness, of an ever-growing abyss behind a closet door, and of that unholy growl which soon enough would tear through their walls and consume all of their dreams. Interesting. So, that's what this is. The book is heavy. This is like a weapon. How many pages does it have? Wait a minute, what? Give me a second here. Why also watched Oppenheimer for the first time just recently, and I liked it as well. I'm always like, oh, I'll just watch like 30 minutes and then I'll take a shower and whatever, and then I just sit through the entire thing. And then I bought the book, The Science of Interstellar by Kip Thorne, with foreword by Christopher Nolan. So, if you don't know, the movie was produced closely with Kip Thorne, who is an astrophysicist. It's a lot of physics, and the movie is actually real, except for like the final part. No spoilers, but everything else is real. And in fact, back then in 2014, we still didn't have a photo of a black hole, and they just rendered the data and created a visual of a black hole for the first time ever for that movie, which is just so cool. And now, 10, 11 years later, we now have a photo of a black hole, and it actually looks like that. Now, of course, the photos are not very high quality, but they're still pretty amazing, right? So, I think that's what makes the movie so cool. And this is a non-fiction describing the science behind all of it. I've not started it yet, but I have very limited knowledge of like black holes and astrophysics in general. Well, because it used to be like a hobby of mine since I was a child. And here you have like photos, graphs, like explaining everything. So then you have, oh yeah, time as fourth dimension. Oh, actually that's a bit of a spoiler. Anyways, if you have not watched the movie, I won't be talking about the movie anymore, but because now I see that there are So right now we only know of existence of black holes, and there's a theory that they're white holes, that everything disappears in a black hole, and then everything should appear in a white hole. It would kind of make sense if the two are connected in like different universes, right? But we don't know if there are white holes yet. So I bought this book. This book by Carlo Rovelli, Inside the Horizon, right? We already talked about the horizon. I thought this is nonfiction. I wasn't reading the synopsis properly. Here it says that this is a story of an ongoing adventure. We will get to the edge of the horizon. We will enter it. We will go to the very bottom. We will cross it and break through to emerge in a white hole on the other side. So this is exactly what I just told you, right? Like, you technically speaking, you could enter into a black hole and then go into another universe through a white hole. Technically speaking, this is science fiction as of right now. Even though there is some science pointing to it, but we don't know. So I don't know why I thought this is like non-fiction. Is it? enslaving and brutalizing millions until its divine protectors were killed. Now Bulikov's history has been censored and erased, its citizens subjugated, but the surreal landscape of the city itself, forever altered by the thousands of miracles its guardians once worked upon it, stands as a haunting reminder of its former supremacy. Into this broken city steps Shara Devani. Officially, the unassuming young woman is just another junior diplomat sent by Bulikov's oppressors. Unofficially, she is one of her country's more accomplished spies, dispatched, along with her terrifying secretary, Sigrud, to solve a murder. But as Shara pursues the killer, she starts to suspect that the beings who ruled this terrible place may not be as dead as they seem, and that Bulikov's cruel reign may not yet be over. A tale of vast conspiracies, dead gods, and buried histories, City of Stairs is at once a gripping spy novel and a stunningly original work of fantasy. So, this is one of my favorite concepts. Like a city that was once amazing and then something happened and it just, the empire just fell apart. Or you would have gods that perhaps were killed. Like, this is my favorite concept in fantasy. And then you start to discover like what actually happened, and yeah, I really like that concept. Okay, last but not least, I have these four books that look a bit busted. And it is The Space Odyssey by Arthur C. Clarke, the entire series. I bought this secondhand for just a few dollars, as you can see. These books came out, like the first one I think came out in like 1960s or something. And 2001 Space Odyssey is a very famous film that inspired pretty much every sci-fi that came after that. I've watched the movie as well. It's definitely, it's not by today's standards. How would I say this? There's not enough plot. They erased a lot of the plot for the great cinematic scenes, which made sense at the time. This was a movie that was just completely, it was like a completely new genre. It was the first for everything, you know. It doesn't say like the original publication date. I just know that this book was printed in 1997. We're almost the same age. They also look busted. Anyways. So I started reading the book, and the book is very different compared to the movie. Because here in the book, stuff actually happens. The movie, again, it's a brilliant movie, don't get me wrong, but not a lot happens, and you're just kind of seeing these great cinematic shots, and that's it. Whereas the book actually has a plot and explains everything. So I'm currently on page 62. There's only 200 something pages. Each book is short like that, which I kind of like. Sometimes with sci-fi that is being published these days, it always has to be like 400 something pages. I appreciate a good short book, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, I got the entire series. Luckily, the books are fine. There's just a bit of dust on them, but I don't mind that. Okay, so that's it for today's book haul. I hope you have enjoyed it. It was kind of messy, like always. I swear, I always film these hauls, and I never know like what the books are about, and like, oh, it's just something that I've heard about. And I just bought it. Like that's just my style of